Samara, it's great to take a few minutes. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Yeah. So tell me, how did you get connected to Westwood? Like, how did this become part of your life and your church family?
Well, I moved to LA about 4 years ago, and I moved out by myself, and I had no idea where I was going to, but I had an apartment 2 blocks away from here, and that was out of luck, like I didn't know what Westwood was, I didn't know what this area was, I just got really lucky and was in a good area. And after being in LA for about 4-5 months by myself, I started missing having a connection with God, not just one where you pray at night, but one where you actually take time of your day and you go to church and you are connected and involved with people that also share your religion. And so I started a quest going to every single church within this neighborhood. I went to so many churches for so long, and once I came here to the Westwood United Methodist, I stopped looking. Because the first time that I came here, I knew that this is where I needed to be. And so I started going to the sanctuary, and I would go every Sunday. And it was such a beautiful and positive message that the pastors always had to give. It was always positive. It was always strengthening our faith and strengthening our community. And that got me through so much. And so that is how I got involved in Westwood. Once I moved, I've moved to 2 different apartments since I lived there, and I still come here every Sunday because this is my family. I live in Playa del Rey now, and I drive about 30 minutes to come, and I don't mind at all because I don't see myself going to another church. This is my family, and this is my home.
Where did you move from before you came from LA, or when you came to LA?
I'm originally from Brazil, but when I moved to LA, I was moving from New Jersey.
Wow. Okay.
I lived in New Jersey with my family for 5 years.
Okay, very cool. So, if you brought a couple of people today, I think maybe first-time guests.
Yes.
And how did you describe Westwood to them before you brought them?
I love bringing my friends, especially if they're visiting from elsewhere. I always tell them that you have to come to my church. It is such a beautiful, positive place. We go to the Loft. I tell them the Loft, it's a different way of doing church. We sit in a living room where it feels like you're sitting with your family, and we not only listen to what the pastor has to say, but we also converse and exchange ideas and kind of process what we learned that day, which for me at least makes it a lot easier to learn and to really understand. And I also tell them that the sanctuary is beautiful, and that Pastor John is amazing, and that the music here is incredible. I love the music program that we have here for both services. That's cool. What I tell them. I tell them that it's I just tell them that they have to see it.
Yeah.
I think I'm a very persuasive person, I guess.
You are, my goodness, yeah. You participate, it sounds like, both in Sanctuary Gathering and the Loft Gathering. Mm-hmm. But my understanding is that you organize volunteers in the Loft Gathering. Is that right?
Yeah.
How did you get involved in that, and what does that entail?
So once I found out about the Loft should be at 11 a.m. and the Sanctuary at 10 a.m. And so I used to go to both. But then once they both started being at 10 a.m., I kind of had to choose. And I chose the Loft. It was younger, it was more dynamic, and I really liked it. So when I started volunteering for the Loft, I started volunteering because I was very broke and I didn't have any money. Even though we don't pressure the people here to donate to the church, I still felt like I wanted to contribute, and I couldn't contribute financially. So I started volunteering. I started making coffee for the Loft. I started just helping out in every single event that we have here at church. I usually volunteer for Christmas, for Thanksgiving, for everything. I would just volunteer. And once I got more involved, Chris moved me from the hospitality team, which is the one that makes coffee and cleans the things, to the connections team, which is where you are touch with the people, so as a host, saying hi and gathering people together. And once I was in there for a while, Chris asked me if I wanted to manage the connections team. So now I am the leader of the connections team, and I organize every single volunteer that we have. So whether you are the person making coffee, or you are the person reading scripture, or you are the person saying the announcements, they came through me, and I was the one who kind of organize that. So I do that on a weekly basis, and I really like it. It takes involvement. It takes me to go to people and meet them. It takes like kind of getting out of your way and being like, hey, I like you. Do you want to read scripture for us? Yeah. Which makes, I think it's a great way of getting people involved, you know.
Of course.
I know for sure that once when Wesley asked me for the first time if I wanted to read scripture, that made me feel special. Like, oh, they know me. They know my name. They know who I am, and they trust me with a microphone.
Yeah.
So that's how I got involved, just by starting doing small volunteering projects. And once Chris and Bo saw that I was reliable, I think they moved me to like a position of a little bit more responsibility.
Last question for you. If somebody was listening to this or reading and they weren't quite involved yet, but they've been attending, haven't volunteered or gotten connected or invested, why would you encourage them to do that?
Because it is our home, and it is our family, and that's what we do. We take care of our home and we take care of our family. It's a great way to be involved. You know, of course, coming here and listening and talking to people, it's good, but it's also such a rewarding experience to know that you physically contributed to that, to the coffee, to be sitting there and look around and be like, the coffee that everyone is drinking, I made it. I came here 1 hour earlier and I made it, you know. And it's a small token that we take from our time. It's very small, you know, like we're here maybe 1 hour, maybe 1 hour and a half throughout the whole time. So it's a small contribution that we make that pays off. For me, at least, it feels good. And I know for the other volunteers, it also feel good to be involved, you know, to help. Why are we here? For each other, of course.